Ang susunod na programa ay rated PG. Ito ay nangangailangan ng patnubay at gabay ng magulang para sa mga batang manonood.
Warning. The following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
In the New World Order, building a new human-centered economy. COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in unprecedented changes to our lives and economy. The enforced switch to virtual work, changes of our travel and consumption patterns, and bans on social gatherings have generated a seismic shift towards virtual activity. Anything that can be done virtually is now done virtually. The lockdown has us thinking about what the future will bring. A new white paper compiled by a panel of thought leaders and co-edited by Dr. Jane Thomason and Jana Pache has just been released. COVID and the New World Order: Actionable Insights from Global Technology Thought Leaders is a forward-looking paper seeking to provoke ideas, discussions, and debate. It serves as a call to action to a remarkably diverse community. We brought together panels of global thought leaders to consider the impact of current crisis and built it on produce a view of our world and its challenges, and the fresh new thinking and the technologies that can enable us to build better as we emerge from the COVID-19 pandemic, says Thomason, an executive director at Fintech TV. The paper covers some of the macro changes from the impact COVID-19 has been on society, healthcare, small and medium-sized businesses, the monetary system, and governance. Many of these changes are driven by seemingly systematic inability to respond ineffectively to the crisis in government, business, and society. The paper urges a rethinking of economic system, to rethink what we value and to rethink how we live. COVID-19 has exposed the fragility of nation-states and indeed the existing world order. It hasn't brought up about anything new. It exposed the weakness of the old and the weakness of all states, seeing themselves as post-industrial, walking backwards into the future, unable to seemingly affect the future and just looking at the rubble of their past. The truth of it is we have a horrific death toll in the UK and crash economy, says Lord Holmes of Richmond, sitting member of the House of Lords, the upper chamber of the UK Parliament. COVID-19 has, far from perspectives, arguably precipitated the deterioration of the global governance system and supply chains and accelerated a worrying trend towards the state isolationism. We have seen the US-China political and economic divide uncomfortably exposed, and the new race of central bank digital currencies (CBDCs) has accelerated this, partly spurred by economic sovereignty concerns. The white paper's big message is that now is the time to be radical in our thinking about how to innovate society for the greater betterment of our citizens and use to the new technologies we have to our disposal to achieve this innovation. New technologies include the blockchain and the decentralized application, artificial intelligence and machine learning, digital assets, surveillance technology, and big data. It is one in a generation call to create a new collaborations, global, driven by average citizens to put we the people back at the center of society and the economy in a free world. Necessity has a new mother and it's called innovation. The paper is a call to citizens to use their democratic rights in new ways to change the area of system that need to be changed. The white paper contributors have come together as individuals. None of us are speaking as representatives of institutions, agencies, or lobby, and yet we become influencers in this space. We are simply humans who have a deep belief that we must do something, that ordinary people can actually change things in this world that really need to be improved, and we want to invite everyone interested in this mission to join us, say Thomason. I think there's a tremendous opportunity, but it's all about potential and not inevitability. There is a mantra going about the place in the United Kingdom that we're all in this together. The truth of it is we're all in this, we are not all in this together. Technology is not a silver bullet, but seeing that we have such a phenomenal tools in our well-washed hands for us to deploy, it's on us to determine how we deploy them, to enable the citizens to look at a smart social contract and to reawaken the sleeping giant democracy, which can only work when it has us as a citizens, as a humans at its back, says Lord Holmes. Blockchain is more than a new technological infrastructure. It facilitates collaboration, enabling large global communities of people to connect independent of a central governing entity. Blockchain network gives us a new way to design and build incentive systems, and we have the capacity to rapidly build and implement large-scale structures for creating incentives that align the interests of individual with the overall beneficial outcomes for society and the planet, a human-centered approach. Pervasive inequalities, loss of trust in government, a global economic system that only rewards economic growth and not humanity and conservation. The rise of platforms, economies, and surveillance capitalism had been amplified during the pandemic. The current global monetary system was created after a Second World War at Bretton Woods. We don't yet know what kind of global governing might take place post COVID-19 nor who will be at the table. So it is all our interest to get our markers down. COVID-19 has also allowed governments to implement unprecedented levels of privacy infringement with their use of technology, facial recognition, cameras, scanning, and tracking technology with little opposition or public resistance. More people globally are now conducting more transactions online when their counterparties' location and purchasing habits are observable to both authorities and corporates for surveillance.